Hello, and welcome to the Estride Suite. Today I will take you through the suite of products and its features this cloud-based platform has to offer. Estride is developed by Stride Innovations. At Stride Innovations, we develop innovative technology for horses and riders. We recently launched our Estride suite of products aimed to bring benefits of the cutting-edge technology to the horse and their lovers. Estride Suite is a cloud-based horse and rider performance tracker. It consists of 3 products: Trackers, equine wearable device for gait analysis, fitness, lameness indication, and rehabilitation. Harmony pressure mat, to check pressure under the saddle. And Steady, a wearable rider aid for measuring hand steadiness while riding. There are several gaps in the current industry and the methods used for diagnosis of issues. Firstly, lameness and rehabilitation. Identifying lameness is very subjective and reliant on expert eye. Also, measuring rehabilitation is expensive. There is a disconnect between different equine professionals, and the data is usually not shared between saddlers, vets, and customers, making it difficult to get to the root of the issue. Secondly, saddle fit. Saddle fitting is an art. Since horses change their shapes several times a year, it is important to keep your saddle adjusted to the horse. A lot of horse owners are not aware of this and the benefit it brings to the horse and rider with a correct saddle fit. Both customers and equine professionals lack the ability to check the stride changes based on different saddles. Lastly, rider training. Being a good rider takes years of practice. Hand steadiness is the key to riding, as they are the main influence on the sensitive structure of the horse's mouth. How does Estride Suite assist with the issues mentioned? It is a cloud-based platform which can be accessed from any device and anywhere in the world. It helps the user with gait transition and fitness, stride patterns, horse consistency and rehabilitation, saddle fit, rider training, and sharing data between industry professionals. Estride Trackers. Dashboard. Trackers are wearables for horses. Nodes are strapped on the outside of each leg of the horse. It collects data of stride at 5 Hz frequency and wirelessly transfers data to the controller. The controller can be left on the mounting block within a line of sight to the horse to receive the data. Once the riding is complete, data can be transferred from the controller to My Estride Cloud Portal. Trackers measure gait and transition in walk, trot, or canter, daily training log, Fitbit-style metrics for calorie burn for rider and horse in different gaits, timing gait, and targets. Here you can see walk band, trot band, and canter band, which help you identify the gait transitions during the session. Activity Gauge gives you information for the percentage split of the activity during the session. Weekly Training Chart assists you with the comparison of historic riding sessions. Additionally, you can see total minutes, strides, calorie burn, consistency, and stride irregularity alerts. We could dive down into any one of these widgets for more detailed information. Example: Equine calorie burn. This can help you assist with calorie burn goal by setting targets. Estride helps monitor and helps you to achieve your goals. Stride analysis. This screen helps compare stride elevation of front and hind legs of the horse in any gait. Here you can see the orange graph, which represents left legs, and blue graph, which represents right legs. Fronts are compared with fronts, and hinds are compared with hinds. This is because both have very different stride patterns. The dotted red line on the graph is the statistically derived risk line. Any graph under this line could be a potential indicator of an issue with the leg. Lameness indicator. Estride measures stride parameters for lameness based on elevation, landing, deviation, frequency, regularity, rhythm, and pattern. You can compare overall stride elevation and leg movement. If the horse has lameness issue where they don't want to lift the leg up, this screen will help you identify that. Issue spider. This chart justifies the chart above in identifying what parameters cause the shortening of the stride. You can also compare these parameters to the other leg. Consistency. Each time a horse is ridden, trackers assign a consistency score to it. This is useful in identifying rehabilitation. If the horse goes lame, the consistency drops, while if the horse is improving, the consistency goes up. This information is based on statistical analysis to assist you with the diagnosis. Harmony, equine pressure mat. The Harmony pressure mat shows you distribution of pressure under the saddle using 920 sensors. It records data on the SD card, and once the data is uploaded on My Estride portal, it can be analysed in detail. Ideally, pressure under the saddle should not exceed 2 newtons per centimetre square for static and 4 newtons per centimetre square for ridden pressure. Snapshot. This screen gives you multi-point saddle check. Every saddle is scored out of 40 points, 40 being the best. It rates the saddle based on pressure readings on spine, front versus back, left versus right, and average pressure. Snapshot view is the average of all the pressure points that were triggered during the riding session. This can help you pinpoint the issue with saddle fit. You can also change the view and visualize it on a granular level. Saddle fit. The saddle fit module shows you details of the saddle fit both in terms of concentration of pressure and absolute pressure. Here you can see the percentage of pressure split between left and right and all 4 quadrants. The slider at the bottom allows you to replay the riding session to visualize the pressure exerted. You can pause or play the readings at any point. In this case, you can see there is additional pressure on this section of the saddle. Considering this was a pressure distribution when the rider was riding, the pressure should ideally not exceed 4 newtons per centimetre square. Here, the slider at the bottom is the max pressure threshold. If the pressure exceeds this, then it will be marked red. Similarly, if the pressure is insignificant, then it will be marked light blue. Pressure can be measured in absolute view or concentration view. Absolute pressure is pressure exerted at a specific point. Concentration of pressure is the effect of pressure on the adjacent point, causing the pressure to increase on the entire area. It has multiple views that you can switch to. You can click on any point and identify approximate pressure exerted on any given point. All pressure points can be enabled to give you a wider picture. Here at the bottom, you can see the total versus peak pressure distribution. Sometimes the saddle fits in walk, but as soon as the rider starts trotting or cantering, the saddle slips, causing it to cause discomfort to both the rider and the horse. This graph can give you an indication of peak pressure. You can click on any high pressure point to see where the problem lies by checking in the pressure heat map above. Rider balance. This module helps identify issues with rider balance. It zeroes down the pressure after 1 minute of riding, assuming that any pressure exerted after zeroing down the saddle pressure reading would be the direct influence of the rider. It measures pressure split left versus right, 4 quadrants, and also consistency of pressure distribution. Similar to saddle fit screen, you can replay the riding session to check the pressure distribution and check the pressure heat map. Here on the bottom of the chart, you can see how the consistency of pressure distribution changed over time. Rider could be perfectly balanced in walk, but could not be as consistent in trot or canter, at which point you could see the consistency drop. This could help improve the overall riding. Estride Steady. Estride Steady is a rider wearable for any age group of rider. It measures hand twists, bouncy hands, hand steadiness and consistency while riding. It triggers vibrations when incorrect movement is detected. You need to carry your phone with you while you are riding, and data from wrist sensors is transferred to your mobile phone and to the My Estride platform. You can monitor alerts, consistency, and total riding time in the left-hand side chart. These widgets on the right give you details of the session in terms of left versus right hand alerts. At the bottom, you can see how the hands were moving. Ideally, both hands should move equally. If one of the hands is bouncy, or the rider is pulling one of the reins, you can clearly see it from this graph. Additionally, you can see detailed consistency over time for each hand. This concludes our presentation today on Estride Suite. Thank you for watching. If you have any further queries, please email support@stride-invent.com. You can also visit us on www.estride.store.